Hello, it's Thursday, and today we are going to be making a Komodo dragon who has never experienced a single thought in its entire life. Let's get into tools and materials. A written version of today's pattern will be made available to my patrons and will also be made available on Etsy. And I will leave links to both in the description down below for anybody who's interested. Okay, so to make your own Komodo dragon adjacent lizard today, you're going to need 8-ply 100% acrylic yarn in 3 colours. You're going to need a main body colour, a colour for inside the mouth, and a little bit of yellow for around the eyes. You're also going to need a pair of 9mm safety eyes, a 3.5mm hook, pins and needles, scissors, and some stuffing. And I found it's also helpful to have just a couple of stitch markers or bobby pins on hand, just to help you keep track of where the end of your row is. But that's it. Now, our lizards today aren't going to look quite like this because I'm not going to do these colour markings, I've decided. But you should know that we've done those the exact same way we did the markings on the pigeons a couple of weeks ago. So if you wanted to do colour markings, you can absolutely still do that. You'll just need a little bit of red as well. So to make our goofy little lizard today, we actually need to make a number of different pieces. So he is constructed with one main body piece that starts inside the mouth and ends about here. We have a top of the head, 2 eye pieces, some front legs, some back legs, and a tail piece that goes on the end. So lots of pieces to get through today. We're going to start by making that main body piece, which means we are starting open wide inside the mouth. Oh, he's so goofy looking. I just love him. We will be attaching the tongue in a different place. This one here is attached right at the edge. We're going to be attaching our tongue right down in the middle of the mouth. So this is just a quick reminder that these are Complicated Knots patterns, which means while all of the instructions will be on the screen, we'll be kind of skimming over the easier stuff and just really focusing in on anything I consider to be a little bit more tricky. So to start with, you're going to need your pink. Okay, so starting in our pink, we're going to make a magic ring. And the weirdness is going to start straight away, because before we work any stitches into that magic ring, we first have to build up the tongue. So the tongue is made by chaining 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm going to pull that 12th one just a little bit tighter. Then we're going to turn, and starting in the second chain from our hook, work 2 slip stitches, 1 and 2. So that's the first point of the tongue. We're then going to chain 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, pulling that third one just that little bit tighter. Turn again, once again starting in the second chain from our hook, work 2 slip stitches into those chains, 1 and 2. And then going back to our original chain, we're going to work 9 slip stitches back down to our magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we will not be working into any of those tongue stitches again. It's actually going to flop forwards like this, but it was important to have it anchored at this point in the mouth and not further up near the lip like this guy ended up. So now, turning our attention to our magic ring, we're going to work 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So row 2 starts with 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, and I'm going to fold that tongue up and out of the way so I'm working behind it. 1, 2, 3, then a single crochet, 2 increases. So that's 1, and that's 2, another single crochet, and then 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So you should have 12 stitches in your round in total, and that's what we currently look like. So that's the tongue flopping out of the mouth right there. Careful, you can taste everything we're doing now. In row 3, we're going to work a single crochet, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 3 single crochet up the side, 1, 2, 3, 2 increases, that's 1 and 2, 3 more single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and a single crochet. And that's what our mouth currently looks like. Row 4 is then just 18 single crochet around, but we're going to change to our grey in the 18th stitch. So that's 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, and that's 17. So we have 1 stitch remaining, and in it we're going to work our colour change. And I believe this is the one and only colour change in this whole pattern. So we're going to be changing to our grey, and all I want you to do is insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over with your pink and pull up a loop. So you've got 2 pink loops on your hook. Hold the pink out of the way, grab your grey and pinch it on the inside of the work at the base of the stitch. And we're going to yarn over with that and pull it through both pink loops. Then tug on the pink tails to settle that stitch down into place. And what that should leave you with is a pink single crochet, but your grey is now on your hook, ready to go. And I'm going to trim off my pink. The melodramatic little bobby pin. My scissors are slightly magnetic. It causes the occasional flinging. And I'm going to tie these 2 tails together. So now our grey is on our hook and we are ready to start building up the lower lip, so the outside lower lip. And we're going to do that using front post single crochet. So when we're working our usual stitches, we're working through the loops on top of the stitch. When we're working post stitching, we're instead working around the post of the stitch here. And because this is front post stitching, it means I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch of our round, around the post and out through the next gap along. Just yarn over and pull up a loop around that stitch, and yarn over and pull through both loops. So this is front post stitching. It means that we're working from the front of the work back to the front of the work. Back post stitching is also a thing, but we're not going to be using it today. So that's our first one. We have 17 more of those to go for 18 in total. So 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So that's 1 grey stitch around every single pink post. And there we are at the end of row 5. Row 6 starts with an increase. Then 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 14 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. And an increase to finish the round. And that should bring us up to 24 stitches. So row 7 starts with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 8 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8, a decrease, and I am just working standard decreases. 8 more single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 8, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, and 2 single crochet back to the start of our round, 1 and 2. 8 is very similar again, starting with 3 single crochet, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, 8 single crochet, a single crochet 3 together, which is when you decrease over 3 stitches instead of over 2. So all you do is insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then insert your hook into the third stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, leaving you with 4 loops in total on your hook, and then just yarn over and pull through all 4. And there is your finished single crochet 3 together. And 8 more single crochet. 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3. And that brings our round up to 29 stitches. And row 9 is 2 single crochet, an increase, 10 single crochet, so 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10, a single crochet 3 together, and the single crochet 3 together from last round should be the middle stitch of that particular decrease. 10 more single crochet, 9 and 10, an increase, and 2 single crochet, which has maintained us at 29 stitches around, and row 10 is just 29 single crochet around. There we go. So row 11 starts with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, a single crochet 3 together, and then 19 single crochet around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Another single crochet 3 together, and then 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. And row 12 is just 11 single crochet, a single crochet 3 together, and then 11 single crochet. Row 13 starts with a single crochet and an increase, and then 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we just have to do a little bit more front post single crochet. So we're going to work front post single crochet around the next 11 posts. So to find the first post that we're going to work into, you just insert your hook through the next set of loops the way you normally would, and then that's the starting point of your next post. Because otherwise it can look like you're supposed to do it through this one here, but you would never work into that stitch as your next stitch of your round. So there we go. It's our first one. I'm going to work 11 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and 11. Very good. So that is just to add a slight crease to the underside of the jaw. So if you found that really, really unpleasant to do, you could arguably work 11 single crochet there. I just like having that very slight indentation. I think it brings a little bit to the posing here. We're then going to go back to working through the loops. So once again, to work out how to dismount from working front post single crochet back to working in the loops, you can set up your next front post stitch, then just remove your hook from the second hole, twist, and that's the first stitch we're going to work into. It's way easier than counting. Can't believe I hadn't worked that out sooner. And we're going to work 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4, then an increase, and a single crochet to finish the round, leaving us with 25 stitches in total. Row 14 starts with a single crochet and an increase. Then we're going to work 7 single crochet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we're going to finally work some repeating stitches. So we're going to work 3 repeats of an increase, and then 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. So there is our first one, and we need to do that 2 more times. Increase, and 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. One more repeat, increase, and 1 and 2. Then it's 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and an increase, and 1 single crochet back to the start of our round. So we now have 30 stitches in our round, and we're going to work 3 rows of 30 single crochet for a combined total of 90 stitches. And there we are at the end of row 17. So row 18, we need to really curve the back out, and so we need to work 5 increases. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then 25 single crochet around. 2, 3, 23, 24, and 25. Row 19 starts with 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 2. There we go. And 3. And then 30 single crochet back around to the start. 1, 2, 3, 28, 29, and 30. And rows 20 and 21 are basically the same thing again, with row 20 bringing us up to 39 stitches in our round, and row 21 bringing us up to 41. And there we are at the end of row 21. So row 22 starts with 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. 14 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, and 14. Then 3 repeats of a decrease and 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1. We're going to do that 2 more times. Decrease, 3 single crochet, and decrease, 3 single crochet. And then it's just 4 single crochet back to the start of our round. There we go. And row 23 is basically the same thing again, though watch out for the 3 repeats because we're doing single crochet 3 togethers instead of just regular decreases. So there we are at the end of row 23. We should have 36 stitches left in our round. And you should notice that it is kind of curving off to one side a little bit here. So that's where my 3 single crochet into the same stitch has been going, curving that spine around. That's because this guy does have a little bit of a deliberate twist to him. So really nothing's going to feel like it's lining up properly. And that's okay. My favorite sort of pattern. We're actually nearly done with this body piece now. So row 24 starts with 24 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 22, 23, and 24. Then we're going to work a decrease, a single crochet 3 together, and a decrease. And then just 5 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that brings our row down to 32. And we're going to do basically the same sequence of stitches in rows 25 and 26, with row 25 bringing us down to 28 stitches and row 26 bringing us down to 24. And there we are. So row 7 starts with 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10. A single crochet 3 together. And then a single crochet to finish the round. And we're still at 24 stitches in our round at this point, but we are going to stop and stuff it. I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of stuffing. I'm going to tear it up into little tiny puffs to try and avoid any lumps. And I'm going to make sure that I get stuffing all the way into the bottom lip and into the corners of the jawbone. Just because we put all that effort into shaping it, we may as well make sure that it's stuffed properly. But I wouldn't overstuff the head portion of this because we don't want the mouth poking outwards too much. Just a little bit of stuffing all the way into the chin is fine. Then just stuff everything else. There we go. So all of those squiggles and squirrels and everything else that we like painstakingly stuffed or stitched into this body, you'll now see that's what's giving him this nice little curve and this nice little front like chest piece. It's just like, yeah, all that shaping was actually doing something the whole time. I love it when it turns out like that. It's just a little bit of magic. Stitchcraft, if you will. So I'm going to stuff it up to there, and then just for the next few rows, every time we finish a row, I'm just going to stuff a little bit more in there. We actually only have, what, 3 rows to go? So row 28 starts with a single crochet 3 together. Then 17 single crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, and 17. Then another single crochet 3 together. And a single crochet to finish the round. Row 29 starts once again with a single crochet 3 together. Then 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A single crochet 3 together. And finish the round with a single crochet. There we go. So you should be down to just 18 stitches at this point. It's the last chance to add any stuffing. Like so. And for row 30, we're just going to work 6 repeats of a single crochet 3 together. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and finish off. So that does leave us with a tiny little opening here. I'm just going to take my remaining yarn and pull it through the front loops only of those 6 remaining stitches. Like so. And just pull it tight to close and weave that end in. There we go. We have one twisty little Komodo dragon body piece, including tongue. Oh, he likes you. So we're going to pop this to one side and we're just going to whip up a tail piece really quickly. The tail is worked all in our grey and we start with a magic ring of 5. Then we just work 2 rows of 5 single crochet for a combined total of 10 stitches. And then it's just a matter of working the next 10 rows, adding an increase to the last stitch of each row until our round is up to 15. Originally I would have liked to have the tail built into the body, but the rows were just not behaving themselves. I ended up prioritising getting the lower jaw attached correctly, because this piece is just a really easy piece to whip up on its own. And there we go, we're at the end of row 13. We have 15 stitches in our round and we're going to finish off. So there is that little cone of a tail. So that is going to attach like there when we get to it. But for now, pop those 2 pieces to one side. So the next thing that we're going to do is the top of this little head, which includes some nostrils, it includes some eyeballs, and it includes not a single brain cell. But we actually need to make the eyes as separate pieces first, just so that we're properly prepared to make the head. So we are just going to grab our yellow, or whatever colour you choose to use. I know some of you have plans to turn this into all kinds of lizards, and I want you to know that I support that idea. Anyway. For the eyes, we're going to make a magic ring of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to pull that ring shut, but the ring's not going to close all the way because 8 stitches is a little bit much. So it leaves a little bit of an opening in the middle there, and I'm just going to slip stitch to that first stitch that we worked to close our ring and finish off. So there is our first eye, and I'm going to make a second one just like it. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? So if you grab your safety eyes now, we won't clip the backs on them yet, but they are going to just be popped straight through the middle of those little eyeballs. And then we're going to attach them into the head as well. And if your stems are long enough, we're going to snap the backs on through both layers. If your stems aren't long enough, you can snap the backs on now. It's just, some stems are really long and some are really short. This will work with either of them, but yeah, if possible, snapping on through both layers is best. I'm going to pop those not far away, but just there so they can observe the proceedings. Looking like something out of Beetlejuice. It's lizard juice. You go over there and behave yourself. And we're going to make the top of the head. Okay, so to make our head, I'm going to be working once again in our grey and starting with a magic ring of 6. Like so. Then it's 2 repeats of 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, then a single crochet, 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. So there's our first repeat, and we're going to do that again. So 3 single crochet into the same stitch, a single crochet, and then 3 single crochet into the same stitch, leaving us with 14 stitches in our round in a vague little square type of shape. All right, in row 3, we're going to be building little nostrils in. So we're going to start with 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. A single crochet. And then all into the same stitch, we're going to work a single crochet, a treble crochet, which is when you yarn over your hook twice, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 4 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the next 2, and yarn over and pull through the final 2. So there is our finished treble crochet. And then still working into the same stitch, we have 1 more single crochet. So all into that stitch, we worked a single crochet, a treble crochet, and then another single crochet. We then have 3 single crochet across the snout. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work a second nostril. So that is all into the same stitch, a single crochet, a treble crochet, and a single crochet. There we go. He's sniffing out trouble everywhere. He wants all your snacks. Then it's just a single crochet to get back to the start of our round. And row 4 is then just 22 single crochet around. 20, 21, and 22. Row 5 starts with 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, and 12. Then it's a single crochet 3 together, 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, a single crochet 3 together, and a single crochet to finish the round, bringing us back down to 18 stitches. Row 6 starts with a single crochet, then 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, 7 single crochet across, 1, 2, 6, and 7, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then 8 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. So far so good. And row 7 is just 22 single crochet around again. 1, 2, 3, 20, 21, and 22. There we go. So row 8 starts with 17 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, and 17. Then 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet all into the same stitch, and then a single crochet back to the start of our round, like so. So we're now going to work 4 rows of 26 single crochet around for a combined total of 104 stitches. And there we are at the end of row 12. Row 13 starts with 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. A single crochet 3 together. 7 single crochet. That's 1, 2, 6, and 7. Another single crochet 3 together. And then 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10. And finally, row 14 starts with 14 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, and 14. A single crochet 3 together. 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. And a final single crochet 3 together. 1, 2, and 3. And finish off. So before we go any further, we're just going to make sure that we have our eyes positioned incorrectly. And that's incorrectly, not incorrectly. So what I would like you to do is just flatten in the underside of your head, keeping in mind that that starting magic ring is going to form like that front lip. So it falls right on that edge. We have one lip that curls that way, one lip that curls that way, but there is still a gap in the top of the head here. Now, as part of that gap, we should have 2 eyebrow ridges. And it can help to identify those last single crochet 3 togethers you were doing. That's kind of the back of the eyebrow ridge. That's approximately what that top of the head is going to look like. So then I'm going to take my eyes, and the eyes go into row 11. So starting at the magic ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you want 1 under each one of the eyebrow ridges. And my stems are long enough that I'm going to poke them through both layers. 1, follow that row around. The next one goes over here. 2. And if you want yours in the exact same place as mine are poked in after row 11 with 11 gaps between the stitches that I've poked my stems through. So that's not visible stitches, that's 11 gaps between one and the other. I'm going to snap my backs on through both layers because my stems are long enough. I'm only getting 1 pop, but that's okay because it's fine for where mine is going to end up, which is on display. I'm going to just tuck those yellow tails through the inside of the head, but I do still suggest strongly that we sew around each of those little yellow pieces to really anchor them in place. But we'll do that later as part of the assembly phase. Yeah, tuck those in. Get your head wrangled back into position again. The nostrils are going to be slightly crooked. To me, that just adds to the facial expression. And then this is going to sit here, like this. And oh my, brain cells never troubled this fellow. Not a single time. So, now you've got your head done. We're going to pop that to one side as well. Now, all we have left are the legs. And these are 4 different leg patterns because each one has to like curve slightly differently just to be annoying. However, they all start with the same 3 rows, which I'm going to call the feet. And then we'll make a foot together, and then I'll show you how to make all 4 of the legs. Okay, so to make the feet, we're going to start with a magic ring of 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's then 2 repeats of an increase, a single crochet, and an increase. So there's our first repeat. We're going to do that again. Increase, single crochet, and increase, bringing us up to 10 stitches in our foot. And then row 3 is 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 repeats of a picot and then a single crochet. So a picot is when you chain 3 times and then slip stitch into the first chain. So there is 1 little picot toe and our first single crochet. So we need to repeat that 3 more times. Picot, and a single crochet. That's 2, 3, and 4. So 4 little toes on each foot. Then 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, and 3. Now this foot is the foundation for all 4 legs. So those 3 rows, leaving you with just 10 stitches in your round. You're going to do that 3 more times after now. For now, we're going to continue on into the front left leg. So row 4 is 10 single crochet around, and the first 3 stitches of that are easy. 1, 2, 3. Then we want to skip the picot and just work into the single crochet that falls after it. That's 4. Skip the picot, single crochet into the stitch after it. 5. Skip the picot, single crochet into the stitch that comes after it. 6. Skip the picot, single crochet into the stitch that comes after it. And 7. And then 8, 9, 10. So there we go. Those toes should poke through to the outside like little clawsies. Rawr. And now you just have 2 more rows of 10 single crochet around for a combined total of 20 stitches. So there we are at the end of row 6, 10 stitches in our round. So far so good. So row 7 starts with 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. And then 3 increases. 1, 2, and 3, leaving us with 13 stitches in our round. Row 8 starts with 2 repeats of a single crochet and a decrease. That's 1. And we do it again. Single crochet and decrease. Then it's just 7 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 6, and 7. At this point, you can sneak a little bit of stuffing just into like the bottom half of the leg. Just a little bit, just to help it hold its shape. And in row 9, we're going to start with 2 decreases. 1 and 2. Then 7 single crochet back round to the start of our round. 1, 2, 6, and 7. Row 10 starts with 2 decreases. 1 and 2. Then 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. And a decrease back to the start of our round. And finish off. You can tuck a little bit more stuffing down in there if you would like to. I think I'm going to. And then just like we did with the body, we're going to weave around to close off our opening. So there we go. There is our front left leg. We'll see how it curves out and in. It's going to go there like that. We're going to make the front right leg next. So we're going to just start by making a foot the same way we made the first one. Like so, and then we're going to work 3 rows of 10 single crochet for a combined total of 30 stitches. Like so. So that's us at the end of row 6 of the front right leg, which is actually exactly the same as the front left leg up to this point. And from here, we're just going to work the same stitches from the front left leg, but in the reverse order. So row 7 starts with 3 increases. 1, 2, 3, and 7 single crochet back to the start of our round. Then row 8 starts with 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 6, and 7. And then we do 2 repeats of a decrease and a single crochet. So that's 1. We're going to do another one. Decrease and single crochet, bringing our row down to 11 stitches. Then row 9 starts with 7 single crochet as well. And then 2 decreases back to the start of our round. 1 and 2. It's time for a little stuffing break. And we're not going to sneak it in this time. We're going to stuff it proudly. No stealth involved. So then row 10 is just a decrease, 3 single crochet, and then 2 decreases back to the start of our round. 1 and 2. Finish off. Weave to close the opening at the top and tuck the end away inside. So there is our front right leg, and you'll note that it bends the opposite way to the front left leg. So the price we pay for knees and elbows. So pop your front legs to one side and we're going to make the back legs. So we're going to start with the back left leg, and once again we need a little foot, exactly the same as we've made the other feet. There we are, once again at the end of the foot, which is row 3 of the leg. And just because we're working on the back legs doesn't mean that the rules have changed since we worked on the front legs. So in this row, we'll still be working around behind these picots. So row 4 starts with 9 single crochet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That should leave you just 1 stitch left in your row. And into that stitch, we are going to work 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. So you should currently have 12 stitches in your round. Row 5 starts with 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and a single crochet back to the start of our round. Row 6 starts with 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then a single crochet 3 together, like so. Then 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. And 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1 and 2. You should currently have 14 stitches in your round. And in row 7, we're going to work 14 single crochet around. There we go. Row 8 starts with 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Then 2 decreases. 1 and 2. A single crochet. And then 3 increases. 1, 2, 3. 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. And a decrease. Row 9 starts with 2 decreases. 1 and 2. Then 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 2 decreases. 1 and 2. And then we're just going to stuff our leg. Don't overstuff, but a little bit of stuffing to help it hold its shape is a good idea. And in our final row, we're going to work 5 decreases. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And finish off. And we're just going to weave our ends around to close off that last little gap. There we go. And there is our back leg, and you'll see how it has its little knee bend in it. But it's a little bit flatter than the front leg. So having watched me make 3 of these now, I feel like you're well equipped to handle the back right leg all on your own. So just like with the front legs, the back right leg is the same stitches as the back left leg, just in the reverse order so that it bends the other way. There we go. And there are our 2 back legs. So now we have all of our lizardy pieces. We can start our assembly process. So bring in your hardest working turtle if you are lucky enough to have one. Hello. And we're going to just start pinning all these pieces together. So I'm going to start by grabbing my head. And I'm just going to line that up over the top of these two bumps of the body. Just loosely pin either side of that down there. And make sure that the front of it can close. Hypothetically, should you want it to, because that is how it's going to look the most natural when open. So when happy with its position, pin the back of it down as well. And you can also sew down a little bit underneath up to where like the eye is, just to help it really stay secure in position. The less you sew, the more you're going to be able to adjust the position as you feel like it. I think that's good. Yep, okay, I'm happy with that. So next what we are going to do is stuff our tail all the way to the top like a little ice cream cone. You may have to add a little bit more stuffing to this as you sew it on as well, but for now just get a basic amount of stuffing in there. And we're going to attach that to the back of this body so that it curls a little bit towards the right when he's facing me. So technically that's curling to the left, so that the finishing off point is running up the back. So that's going to keep your slope running in the right direction. So one pin there, one pin there. We are running dangerously low on pins because they're all in Pokemon at the moment. There we go. That is what we currently look like. And you can stop and sew this on now if you want. I'm just going to power on through and we're going to pin all the legs in place as well. So identifying my front legs, which are these two little cutie pies. And I've grabbed my left front leg here. And you want to make sure that you give him a little bit of a swell to his chest. And then line a front leg up on his body. There we go. So that's one. And I'm going to line the right leg up on the opposite side, keeping in mind that he is twisted a little bit, so you don't necessarily want them to be straight across from one another, but you do need to make sure that he's standing straight. So just use like a table or a flat surface to help you line that up. There we go. Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Okay, and finally we're going to grab our back legs, and you can start with your right or your left, but you basically just want to line them up at the back of the body once again so that the feet are touching the ground. And they can be in a little bit more of a slump position as well, which is what I might do here. A little bit more slumpy. No, that's a little too scooty. Make sure that the feet are flat on the ground. He's not scooting his booty. Booty scooting, if you will. Any more pins in you? You do. Okay, very good. So at this point, my lizard is completely stable all on three legs. He's a little tripod. But I'm just going to take my final leg and pin it into place on the other side of his hips. Nope, we're fresh out of pins. Okay, that's enough then. So there are all of my pieces in place. So now I am just going to take a little bit of yellow and sew around each of the eye sockets, and then a whole bunch of grey and sew around each of the other pieces everywhere that they touch the body. And there is our finished Komodo Dragon. I hope you had fun making him with me today, and I hope you had fun making all three of the creatures this month. We were a little bit sparse on patterns this year, but this should get us all caught up. And I'm looking back at the rest of our list, and I'm going to pick a different one of them to make for the first week in August as well. At the moment, we are only 2 days into July as I film this. I'm thinking about either the cicada or the beaver, but that could very easily change over the next few weeks, so don't hold me to that. Lick. So yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, bye. Oh no, he's gonna get you.